So first of all, let us invite Zil to talk about her real life experience of being experiencing this fraud, financial fraud there. Okay? So Zil can come and share the experience. Yeah?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Uh, I hope I'm audible and I'm sharing my screen. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes. So if there is any problem, please share. I cannot see the StreamYard screen as I'm presenting the slides. Okay. So very good evening, everyone. Today, as Sir discussed and shared, I'm going to share one experience which I have faced in this digital payment fraud as a cyber crime. Beginning with very background of the case, and as we all know that financial frauds are increasing, in spite we have an awareness regarding this, we know everything how it is happening, what is happening, and in spite I was aware and had attended various sessions, yet I was the prey of this fraudster group. Giving you the background of the scene, what happened, I was very new to online shopping, and for the very first time I was shopping from a particular site, and it was having a buy one get one offer, and so I thought that I should buy a product which I was hoping for, and I bought it. And for the very first time I used Paytm for the payment, as I'm a regular user of a GPay, and I thought that I should go for Paytm this time, as it had some cashback offer, and I used Paytm. The very first payment on the Paytm failed. So I waited for few hours that let's see what happens. I waited for few hours and then I did the second attempt for the payment and it was successful. While in the second payment, I didn't receive any uh, confirmation from the site that your payment is successfully done and your product is booked and you will receive your product. So I decided to wait for 24 hours to see what is if there is any update from that particular site in 24 hours, or else I will go for a helpline or I will mail. But within 24 hours, that on the very next day, so from where the story of fraud begins, on the very next day I was at my workplace and was really super busy that I didn't have time to see uh, properly that what was happening around. And on the very next day, in within those 24 hours I got the call, and the caller looked genuine. They had all the proper exact details what happened in this case, like I had from where I am buying the product, which online site, my first payment of this amount failed and the second amount is successful, and you haven't received any confirmation, and I have used Paytm. They had all the details what happened in the background of the scene, so it seemed very genuine that perhaps they are from the helpline of that particular site. And they claimed that you need to do the repayment of, if you will pay again same amount in a particular time, you will receive the amount which you paid before and you will also get the product. The caller was convincing and somehow I fell for that thing what they say. Obviously that was not correct and that is not correct anywhere, but I fell for. And the thing they did was they kept me engaged throughout the call. They didn't let me disconnect. After one payment, they again came with another excuse, but they didn't give any time to think about it, that no time to talk to someone, to share it to anyone, and they continuously kept their call engaged. Even if I was busy, I was talking to someone else in my office, they were there on the call. They didn't cut the call. In spite the intuition said there is something wrong, it is some fraud, and I ignored my intuition and the certain multiple payments were done under pressure. I got frustrated because I was not getting time to think and I was pressurized. I cut the call. Soon I cut the call, I realized it was the fraud. And even after that, the caller kept on reaching me. and they had an excuse that if you don't do this payment, your whole payment you did of certain amount will be lost, and some of the other excuses they were giving me. But then I was so confused. I shared this incident with my friend, and of course, in this situation where we are wrong, we are afraid to share these things with our elders or our family. We get frightened. Though my friend forced and she shared the thing with my family, and my elders are aware enough of all those things, I talked with that. Then I was at my workplace. I was in the meeting. I couldn't talk with anyone for 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Then after my work completed, I talked with my parents, and then the actions what I took was I registered the complaint on cybercrime.gov.in, which is the government site. Then the major thing which I saw was by how I got convinced was they shared me the identity proof. The person who was on the call WhatsApped me his Aadhaar card, proper Aadhaar card with the scanner, name, and date of birth. Yet I was not convinced for the payment, so they gave me the PAN card with the same name, proper signature, and everything authentic and seemed similar to my PAN card, which I have currently. Same photo, everything seems to be that it's correct one. It's not a wrong identity proof, and so somehow I fell for that. Then on the website, I gave all the Aadhaar card proof and everything what the fraudster gave me. The mistake or misunderstanding which I faced here was on the website they asked me for the address, and I gave my hometown's address, which was in my Aadhaar card, as I was giving my Aadhaar card as a proof on the site. I gave my hometown's Aadhaar card within 24 Aadhaar card's address, and within 24 hours I also got the call from the police station from my hometown. They heard my complaint and they realized, they shared that you should share the address of the crime location in the city from where the crime happened. So share that address. I shared them my address, and then they told me that they are transferring my complaint to that particular specific city where this thing happened. Then they transferred my complaint. I waited for 24 hours that now this location, this city police station will call me. But I didn't receive any call from this city's police station. So I visited to the main police station of cybercrime. I went there. I shared my problem. They saw in their data, but they didn't receive any of my complaint. उनको मेरी complaint मिली ही नहीं थी. Then they shared, the police officer shared his mobile number with me to stay in connection. And then I was frequently, like twice or thrice, visited police station. I was in contact with that police officer, but they didn't receive my complaint. I don't know where my complaint got stuck, and none of the police station was knowing. Even I called at my hometown's police station and also visited this city's police station, they had no idea. So there was too much of delay, there was no clarity and no resolution to this problem. And so by the end, I had a financial loss, my money was not recovered. And obviously, once there is delay in these cases, there is no money recovered. Obviously, it results into the emotional stress and trust issues. So the lesson learned in this case, on this scenario, was the major thing: if this happens, provide the address of the crime location where the crime happened with you. Share your problem, even if the thing feels genuine or convincing. Trust yourself and don't make payment. What might happen? Your product might not receive to you. That's fine. Let the product go, but be aware of the things. So stay alert in online transaction, act fast, and keep spreading the awareness of these things so others don't repeat the same problem if they are in the same scenario. Thank you. That's all from my side.